G'day trendsetters, I'm John with Gravel Cyclist and I'm coming to you today with another no bull wheel set review, this time around by a company known as Rolf Prima. Inside this box is the company's 700C Hyalite 25 wheel set designed for the rigours of gravel and adventure cycling, and it features aluminium rims. There's also some very interesting spoke technology which sets this wheel set apart from most of the other wheel sets you're going to see on the market nowadays. Now before I bust open the box and show you what's inside, it's time for a little bit of company history about Rolf Prima. The original founder of Rolf Prima, Mr. Rolf Dietrich, invented the paired spoke concept way back in 1997. So rather than having a wheel set with evenly spaced spokes, Rolf designed paired spokes closely together in a reduced count, which resulted in improved aerodynamics and somehow increased strength. The first production model, the Vector, sold like absolute hotcakes, and by the time 1999 rolled around, these wheels had attracted the attention of a certain Americano professional cycling team, tearing it up at that year's Tour de France. Since then, a lot has changed, and all their wheel sets are built in-house at Rolf Prima headquarters in Eugene, Oregon. They've also expanded their range beyond just road, so now you've got gravel, adventure, mountain bike, and tandem. And in the case of gravel, you've got wheel sets available with carbon or aluminium rims in 650B or 700C, but for the rundown on all their wheel sets, drop by rolfprima.com. Okay, enough claptrap. It's time to unbox the Rolf Prima Hyalite 25 wheel set in the 700C. And here they are. Let's take a closer look. And as you can see, visually they're quite different. Paired spokes and high flange hubs, which nowadays are not exactly commonplace. The Hyalite 25 gets its name from the internal rim width, which is 25 millimeters. These wheels are purpose-built for the rigours of adventure cycling. In fact, the asymmetric rim design helps improve overall spoke tension and, hypothetically, increases strength. Rolf Prima are so confident with this wheel set, they even recommend it for loaded bike packing, which in my mind is totally mental. Now it's time to cover the tech specs. Now how nice is that? This wheel set was hand built in Eugene, Oregon by Morgan, and there are the serial numbers. Onto the gram scale with the front wheel, and this wheel weight includes the rim tape. You're looking at 751 grams. The rear wheel, 885 grams. That makes for a total of 1,636 grams. Now all you crazy folks want to hear how the free wheel sounds. Here we go. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Thank you, assistant. The depth is 23 millimeters, the inside width is 25 millimeters, and the outside width, outside to outside, is 28.5 millimeters. At the heart of the Rolf Prima Hyalite 25 wheel set is the USA-made XST hub set. Like I mentioned earlier, high flange. And then you have this crazy paired spoking pattern. 24 spokes on the front wheel, and you might notice there's quite a sizable amount of real estate between each of those paired spokes, which you might think to yourself, those wheels are quite aero. And these spokes are under quite a decent amount of tension, but as I mentioned earlier, Rolf Prima says these are some super strong wheels, so we'll see how they hold up during the review period and hopefully retain their roundness and trueness. And the rear wheel, 24 spokes. In fact, 24 spokes seems to be the de facto standard nowadays for disc brake wheel sets. And as you can see, paired spoking at the rear exactly the same as the front. In terms of the cassette bodies, this one is clearly SRAM XDR. You can also get Shimano 1011, which also supports Shimano 12-speed, and of course, Campagnolo. Disc rotors are mounted using the fantastic Centerlock standard. I love that. It makes swapping rotors so easy, especially if you swap rotors as often as I do. And this being 2021, most gravel bikes have defaulted to a 12mm through axle, and this hub supports 12mm through axle. The observant types will also notice the RockShox XPLR fork, namely the Rudy review coming later. And to be expected, you have center lock on the rear wheel as well, and a 142 by 12mm through axle support. And here you see, there's the branding, very subtle, Hyalite 25, and of course you might notice a Panaracer Gravel King SK in 700C by 38. So now it's time to see how this tyre mounted up to this wheel set. Panaracer Gravel King SK 700C by 38mm in a very fetching pansy colour with tan sidewall. There is no seal inside this wheel, it's a dry mount, and I have removed the valve core to help myself inflate using the Bontrager TLR flash charge pump. And the secondary cylinder is loaded up to 125 psi. This is a used tyre. Let's see how it goes. I love when that happens. The sound of success. Next tyre, the Vittoria Terreno Dry in 700C by 40mm. This tyre is used as well. It doesn't have a lot of use, but it went on pretty well. Nice tight fit. Yes, I would say we have success here, trendsetters. That's the tyre mounting procedures covered. How does the Rolf Prima Hyalite 25 wheel set in 700C ride? Weighing just over 1600 grams, these aluminium wheels are not in the realm of super light wheels that cost far more, but light enough that you attain excellent performance once you have the Hyalites rolling. They seem to respond better to accelerations out of the saddle versus wheels weighing the same or a little less. Perhaps it's the paired spoke aero placebo effect. The wheels feel solid beneath you, and there's no hint of flex or softness with the paired spoke design. Rolf Prima offers carbon rim versions of this wheel set if you desire lighter, racier performance. I'm certain these Rolf branded hubs are manufactured by White Industries. At least I'm sure the titanium free hub body or internals are. I own several wheels with White Industries hubs, and they've proven bomb-proof reliable over the years, and I expect the same from these Rolf variants. The paired spoking design falls under what I call rocket science spoking. It may be amazingly aero on road, and placebo-wise, this wheel set rides and rolls nicely on mixed surfaces. At just 23mm deep, these wheels are impervious to side or crosswinds, and if I understand Rolf Prima's recommended tyre and pressure guide properly, these wheels will happily accept tyres 50mm in width. I rode the Panaracer Gravel King SK in 700C by 38mm the entire time, and the wheels offered a comfy ride aboard the Pali Chabaco and Canyon Grizzle review bikes. The Grizzle does have front suspension, but it can be locked out. All of the materials in this wheel set are top-notch, and they're still as round and true as the day I first received them. I cannot vouch for how adept these wheels are in a bike packing scenario, but Rolf Prima says they are suitable, and my experience has shown them to be strong and resilient. My concerns with the wheel set are the weight, which is decent, but there are competitors producing carbon-rimmed wheels around the same weight, but for less money. Speaking of price, this wheel set will cost you about US $1,149. Not everybody is going to find value in a USA-built aluminium wheel set at this price point. The paired spoke concept is well proven, but I'd keep a few spare spokes on hand just in case. I think of what could happen if you break one of these spokes. More than likely, that rim and tyre will be rubbing the inside of your frame because these spokes are under some serious tension. In closing, if you like riding something different that's built in the USA, and I received comments about this wheel set every time I rode it, and like a 5-year warranty, a 2-year bearing warranty with crash replacement options, the Rolf Prima Hyalite 25 wheel set could be for you. So there you have it, my review of the Rolf Prima Hyalite 25 wheel set in 700C. I realise nowadays there are so many wheel sets for you to choose from for your gravel bike, so I hope that my review in some way into helping you make an informed purchase decision. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel for detailed review videos such as this, no bullshit gravel bike reviews, other product reviews, ride experience videos and other madness, as all of it is released to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.